Alright, so my name is Amy. I'm new to Booktube. I guess I'm gonna do the newbie tag to start off because that seems like a really good place to start. So, question 1, why did you start Booktube? To get out of my comfort zone. It's never too late to start something new, try something new, conquer some fears, aka hearing myself talk, putting yourself out there for possible criticism. The bookish community is super nice, so I don't really see that as a thing. But the cool thing about the book community is everybody appreciates everyone else's opinions, even if you don't like super popular things, which you will hear me say a lot. Disclaimer, I hate Shatter Me. I hate it. I hate the writing style. I hate the main character. I don't think Warren's cute in my head. Just not a fan. And it's not the last time you'll hear me say this. But yeah, long answer short, to breach my comfort zone and try something new. Number 2, what are some of the fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? I don't know. This is going to just continue to be a work in progress. See how things go. I'm me. That can go one of two ways. You might love me, you might hate me. Pretty strong opinions and views about most things. So, yeah. Number 3, what are you most excited for with this channel? I think just being able to interact with people. It's different than Bookstagram or, the groups on Facebook that, yeah, you comment back and forth, but you don't really, I feel like, get to know each other. And this will be like an extension of my personality. There's bound to be more than just books. Whereas with Bookstagram, it's very strictly book related, versus my personal Instagram, which is very much the other part of my life. I used to do my books on my personal Instagram, and it's like 3 people I know in real life who actually read. So I decided to branch out and do that. So now I'm branching out again to do this. Why do you love reading? It's an escape. I think that's everybody's reason for reading. Connecting with everybody over universal emotions. Even if it's a world that's so far out of, hey Bubba, even if it's a world that is so far out of reality that you know it will never happen. Universal emotions are the same. There's love, there's fear, there's loss, there's all these things, and it's just great to be able to relate to them, but in a fun way, I guess. What book or series got you into reading? I guess I'll do this in a 2-parter because I read a whole lot when I was younger. Always had a book with me no matter where we went. If we, drove 2 hours to go camping for the weekend, I took 5 books. It's just a thing that I've always done that not many of my real life friends have done, which is a little bit isolating. It's another reason for doing this channel. First series probably would be Babysitter's Club by Anna Martin. If you were a girl growing up in the 90s, you read Babysitter's Club. 7 totally different personalities of girls. Everyone's bound to find one that they could relate to, wanted to be. Mine was Christy because I've always been a tomboy. Especially when I was younger, I was super sporty, didn't care about the way I looked really. And yeah, so, but 112 I think was the total in the series. Probably read and owned them all at some point. The other series, when I was younger, would have been Goosebumps and the Fear Street series by R.L. Stine. I still, pick up R.L. Stine. I read a book this year, Party Games. Anytime I see his, and I know he's writing again, which is awesome. Bubba, you're the star? Are you the star? anytime I see an R.L. Stine book, I have to pick it up. And, you know, it's, if you're looking for deep, if you're looking for really well thought out plots, maybe not the best series, but super nostalgic, and that's, you know, another really cool thing about reading. I did take a break from reading for a good while, several years, and the cliche answers would be, in what got me back into reading, shamefully, the Twilight series, and the Harry Potter series. And, you know, like, there's so many issues with Twilight. I don't need to go through them. We all know them. You know, it's, I think a lot of people still love the series because it was again, nostalgia. I will never read them again. I'm a sucker for the movies. Guilty pleasure. You know, wake up, you don't feel good, you're a little hungover, throw on Twilight. I can close my eyes and I can, like, see it. I don't need to be watching it. And same goes for the Harry Potter movies. They're just, you know, easy to put on and zone out. But Harry Potter, for sure, I didn't have any interest in reading fantasy, which is hilarious given the path that my book life has gone down, because it's almost all fantasy now. But, you know, I gave that a try because I'm like, and I waited so long to read the Harry Potter books. I actually started to read them in between Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 being released in theaters. And I made a goal, I'm going to finish them before Deathly Hallows Part 2 release at midnight, and I finished at 11 p.m. on release night. So that was fun. I don't think I got any work done at my job during those couple of months that I was power reading. But they definitely opened up a world. I had no idea I was going to fall in love with fantasy. I had no idea the feelings that you were going to get. I mean, I knew from what people had said, but everybody's different. Everyone has different tastes. I didn't think it was going to be for me, and holy shit, it just opened a whole new world for me. I used to only read memoirs, and now I sprinkle a memoir in every now and then, but mostly fantasy for me. I'm gonna skip the last question because I don't know what questions I would want to ask my favorite booktuber. I don't like that question. So I'm already here making my own rules, doing my own thing, apparently. So one thing I'm going to do that I feel like should always be included in a newbie thing is talk about my all-time favorite books. All-time favorite books, and then my favorite read of this year. So, all-time favorite books. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think the last time I read this was when I lived in Philly 10 years ago. Because I just found Reggae Tuesdays at Medusa Lounge, which I don't even think that bar exists anymore. So there's that. I wonder if I ever went to that, because it sounds like it would be pretty fun. But anyway, yeah. I mean, who doesn't love this? I don't think I've read the entire series, however. So I really that might be maybe a goal for me over the winter or something. I'm sure that I can bang them out pretty quick. But, you know, being book 2 in a series, it's a standalone, and, you know, you don't need to read the series. I don't know if that's going to enhance it for me. I don't think it can, because I just adore that book so much. So that's one. Probably a cliche number 2, The Great Gatsby. Again, I don't know how you can't love it. You know, one of the best ending lines in any book I've ever read. Plan on getting at least part of it tattooed on me, if not the whole thing. Of course, I plan on getting all kinds of tattoos that I may or may not ever get. Definitely started a fascination with the 20s, and all things jazz age, Prohibition, all that good or not so good stuff. Yeah, but I mean, again, if you haven't read The Great Gatsby, it's kind of bizarre that you haven't, but, you know, there's a first time for everything, and it's such a well-loved book, and well-loved books are typically well-loved for a reason. The last one is a book that made me throw it across the room and burst into tears. And most people probably know the plot of this now, but I read it when it first came out, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And that is John Green's Looking for Alaska. Yeah. It's just one of those books that when I think about it, it brings back so many personal feelings, things that I have experienced firsthand in my life that have changed me one way or the other, and I just had no idea the subject matter going into this, and I think that was just like the biggest shock. My damn video cut off. I'm gonna be fantastic at this. I am going to edit a video for the first time ever after I'm done this, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do my best to just pick up where my last video cut off, and hopefully everything will just look perfect and seamless when I delve into editing. Yeah, right. So anyway, like I was saying, Looking for Alaska, just very, very personal subject matter, and I was not prepared. At that point in time, I had this shows my level of ignorance, I guess, when I was getting back into reading. I had no idea that John Green killed your dreams and made you ugly cry. So, yeah, I didn't even know that I was going to be sad at all, let alone that it was going to be such a sensitive, personal, to me, subject that just destroyed me. Very sweet destruction. Thank you, John Green, for everything you've done for us. And then my current favorite read of the year was a book I read back in January. I applied for an advanced reader's copy on NetGalley, was lucky enough to be selected, tore through this book. I've never picked up an ARC as soon as I was approved for it, but I was just so excited for this one. Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh. I need to own it. I can't believe I don't have a physical copy because it is beautiful. That's what first got me wanting to read it. I'm a total cover grab reader. Extremely guilty of judging books by covers. Didn't read A Court of Thorn and Roses series for so long because, admittedly, I don't find the covers attractive or appealing. Nothing about them makes me want to pick that book up. Glad I did. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes the cover does deceive you, and there's a great story behind it. However, Reign of the Fallen, beautiful cover, beautiful story. So happy that I got that. Also, I follow Sarah Glenn Marsh on Instagram, and I adore her. Her personality just like shines through everything. She has adorable dogs that I'm obsessed with, and the cover release for the second book in the Reign of the Fallen series, which I believe is only a duology, so I believe that's the final book, but it was released a couple of weeks ago. Gorgeous. So excited for that. Like, stalking NetGalley every day. Like, when can I enter for a chance to get this advanced copy? Because I need it like 6 months ago when I finished Reign of the Fallen. So I'm gonna wrap this up again. It's really weird to do it twice, but that's it for me for now. I don't know if I'm gonna do this often. I am horrible at making guidelines and sticking to them. Yeah, every month I have like a 10 to 12 book TBR, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna crush it. I'm not gonna do anything except for read this month. And then, you know, bottles of wine happen, and friends happen, and life happens, and work happens, and then at the end of the month I'm like, damn, I read 2 books. Womp womp. I'm also super guilty of reading like 6 books at once, so that makes it a little hard. That being said, I hope that I can keep up with this. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that somebody gives me a thumbs up, because I feel like that would just feel really cool. Comment, subscribe, I don't know if you like it. If you don't, please don't thumbs down me, because that's just fucking ignorant, and nobody needs that. Nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life. I don't need that kind of negativity. I know there's people out there who don't like me. You don't have to tell me. Anyway, I'm gonna put links to my Goodreads, my Bookstagram, and my Twitter, even though I don't really use Twitter for anything book related. When I do, no one favorites it, because my Twitter is mostly sports related. So if you like super depressing things, I'm a Baltimore Orioles fan. We just lost Manny Machado. We are on pace for the worst season in Major League history, not just of the Orioles, of all of baseball. So that's exciting. Yeah. That's all I got.